Of course, this goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. If in the good old days, when you practiced and you wanted to bring something into your office, a new subject, a new discipline, a new emphasis, you bought a textbook. And then as time went on, obviously, you can still buy textbooks, but you go online because it's easier and it's a lot cheaper too. I remember the price of textbooks when I was a student. They're cheap now, but boy, oh boy, there was a big leap at the time when you had what you had as a student. But anyway, that's then and this is now. So what I was going to say was, we're really making, if all of this is to make life easier, and there is a tendency for us not to do that for whatever reason, one of the first things I think is to determine what you need to know and to just gather enough information in the office to set up a template of what you're going to achieve. And I think it's a good idea to share that with the team, simply because they're the ones that are going to be doing a lot of this. But if you know what you want to try and accomplish, and sit down just for 15 minutes and have a brainstorm over it, and then sit down for another 15 minutes on your own and just write out how you'd like to see this done, that's very little by way of time commitment, but it sure makes it easier, because then everybody's following the same path. Don't need to say this, but without that, everybody does their own thing, and it might look like it's approximately the same thing, but it isn't, because we've all got different ways of going about achieving the same thing. If we have a template so we go about achieving it in the same way, it looks better in the office because it's more cohesive, and patients like that. And then the second thing is, it's more likely to be successful. And probably the third thing is, it's more likely to happen, and it's more likely to have the desired effect, which is increased awareness and of course also increased uptake, which people can only do when they understand why they should be doing it. It's been said before that people only buy what they want, they don't buy what they need. And if you think about it, who really wants to buy a mask that goes on your face or a piece of plastic that goes in your mouth? But if you can try and see the benefits from the patient standpoint, you've got a better chance. I was round at a friend's who runs a CPAP providers, and not surprisingly perhaps, and sorry, tongue-in-cheek, but not surprisingly, nothing was mentioned about how wonderful CPAP is and how it's so easy to wear and all that stuff. All the emphasis was on having a better night's sleep, feeling better the following morning. In fact, one of them says weight loss, which is fine, and of course and being more, having a better day, being less sleepy, and so on and so forth. But nobody went into great amount of detail as to how wonderful CPAP is and how good it looks and how people can hardly tell that you've got it on. Well, we've got all those benefits, but we don't really have to push those. What we have to encourage, the things that we have there available for us to encourage our patients, are the fact that the benefits, not the appliance, because nobody wants to do that. So the saying goes on to say, so the secret is to try and make your patient want what you have, rather than being put off by simply the fact that they need it. And in some cases they do need it. Oh, snoring. Right, sorry, that was the biggie. I think that's just about everything. So the bottom line is, make a template, get your team's involvement, write out a way what you want to achieve in very, very loose terms, but how you're going to go about doing it, and concentrate when you're presenting this to the patient, concentrate on not on putting down CPAP, not on encouraging people to wear a piece of plastic in their mouth, but encouraging people indirectly by going over the benefits to them, And if, of course, you haven't asked those questions, so you don't know what their problems are, you won't really be able to encourage them that way. But that goes back to something we were saying earlier about customizing your questionnaire, because only by positive or negative, depending on which way you look at it, by positive responses in that questionnaire will you know what their problems are, and only by knowing what their problems are can you provide or at least offer a solution. Okay, thank you.